Hello, and welcome to my channel.
The sound of raindrops tapping against the window roused Charlie from his slumber. He groggily opened his eyes, momentarily disoriented by the gray light filtering through the curtains. As he stretched his arms above his head, a yawn escaped his lips. The pitter-patter of rain against the glass seemed to beckon him, inviting him into the world outside. With a sense of anticipation, Charlie swung his legs over the edge of the bed and slipped his feet into a pair of cozy slippers. He made his way to the closet, pulling out his favorite waterproof jacket. The vibrant yellow fabric seemed to brighten the room, contrasting against the gloomy weather outside. Charlie relished in the feeling of donning this familiar garment, as if it were a shield against the elements. As he stepped outside, the cool droplets of rain kissed his cheeks. Charlie looked up at the sky, where dark clouds loomed, threatening to unleash a torrential downpour. Undeterred, he set off on his usual rainy day adventure in Amsterdam. Charlie walked along the canals, their waters shimmering with reflections of the colorful houses that lined their banks. Each house seemed to possess its own unique charm, with ornate gables and bright flower boxes adorning their windowsills. The rain lent an ethereal quality to the scene, softening the edges and creating a dreamlike atmosphere. He meandered through the narrow streets, taking in the sights and sounds of the city. The rhythmic sound of raindrops falling on cobblestones accompanied his footsteps, creating a soothing melody. Charlie's mind began to wander, lost in a sea of thoughts as he wandered aimlessly through Amsterdam's labyrinthine alleys. As Charlie rounded a corner, he stumbled upon a small bookstore tucked away in a narrow alley. The sign above the entrance read "The Book Nook," and a warm glow spilled out onto the wet pavement. Intrigued by the smell of old books that wafted towards him, he couldn't resist the allure of this hidden gem. Stepping inside, Charlie was greeted by the sight of shelves upon shelves filled with books of all shapes and sizes. The air was thick with the scent of aging paper and ink, wrapping around him like a comforting embrace. He ran his fingers along the spines, feeling the texture of each book as if it held a secret waiting to be discovered. Just as he was about to lose himself in the world of literature, an elderly man emerged from behind a towering stack of books. His wiry gray hair stood on end, and a pair of spectacles perched precariously on the bridge of his nose. The man's eyes twinkled with wisdom and curiosity, beckoning Charlie to engage in conversation. "Welcome, young wanderer," the bookseller said with a smile. "What brings you to my humble abode on this rainy day?" Charlie returned the smile, feeling an instant connection with this kindred spirit. "I couldn't resist the allure of your bookstore," he replied. "There's something magical about the smell of old books." The bookseller's eyes lit up at Charlie's words. "Ah, you have an appreciation for the written word," he said. "Amsterdam has a rich literary history, you know. Many great writers have found inspiration within these very walls." Intrigued, Charlie leaned in closer, eager to learn more about Amsterdam's literary past. He listened intently as the bookseller regaled him with tales of famous authors who had once walked these streets and penned their masterpieces in quiet corners of the city. Please support my channel by liking and subscribing. As their conversation deepened, the bookseller leaned in conspiratorially, his voice dropping to a hushed whisper. "But there's more to Amsterdam's literary history than meets the eye," he said. "Have you ever heard of the Hidden Library?" Charlie's interest was piqued. He had always been drawn to secrets and mysteries, and the idea of a hidden library filled with ancient manuscripts sent a thrill down his spine. "Tell me more," he urged, his eyes gleaming with excitement. The bookseller leaned back, a mischievous glint in his eyes. "Legend has it that there is a secret library hidden somewhere in this city," he began. "It is said to hold ancient manuscripts and books of untold knowledge. But finding it is no easy task. It requires a keen eye, a curious mind, and the willingness to venture into the unknown." Charlie's heart raced at the thought of embarking on such a quest. He had always been an adventurer at heart, seeking out hidden treasures and unraveling enigmatic tales. The idea of uncovering the secrets of this hidden library ignited a fire within him. Determined to find this elusive place, Charlie spent days immersing himself in research. He scoured old maps and books, searching for any clue that could lead him to the hidden library. He sought out locals who might have heard whispers of its existence, engaging them in conversation and hoping they would share their knowledge. Armed with newfound knowledge and a sense of purpose, Charlie embarked on his journey through the rain-soaked streets of Amsterdam. The rain fell steadily, soaking his jacket and turning the cobblestones into glistening mirrors. Undeterred by the downpour, Charlie walked with purpose, his footsteps echoing through the empty streets. He passed iconic landmarks like the Anne Frank House and the Rijksmuseum, their grandeur magnified by the rain. The city seemed to come alive in the gloom, its melancholic beauty captivating his senses. As Charlie walked along the canals, he marveled at the reflections of the colorful houses in the water. The raindrops created ripples, distorting the images and casting a spell of otherworldly beauty. He paused for a moment, captivated by the scene before him. It was as if Amsterdam had transformed into a living painting, each brushstroke perfectly placed by nature's hand. With renewed determination, Charlie continued his search for the hidden library. He followed narrow alleyways and winding streets, his eyes scanning every nook and cranny for a sign, a clue that would lead him closer to his goal. The rain continued to fall, drenching him to the bone, but he hardly noticed. His focus was unwavering, his mind consumed by the thrill of the chase. After days of tireless searching, Charlie's perseverance paid off. he stumbled upon a nondescript building tucked away in a quiet corner of Amsterdam. Its weathered facade blended seamlessly with its surroundings, concealing the treasure that lay within. With trembling hands, Charlie pushed open the heavy wooden door and stepped into the dimly lit room. Dust particles danced in the air, illuminated by a single ray of sunlight that filtered through a crack in the ceiling. Shelves lined every wall, stacked high with books that seemed to whisper secrets of ages past. Charlie's heart raced as he walked deeper into the library, his fingers grazing the spines of ancient tomes. Each book held a story waiting to be discovered, a piece of history waiting to be unraveled. As he perused the shelves, his eyes caught sight of an old journal tucked away in a forgotten corner. Curiosity piqued, Charlie carefully pulled the journal from its resting place. Its leather cover was worn and faded, its pages yellowed with age. He opened it, his eyes scanning the elegant script that adorned the pages. It was a diary, filled with the musings and adventures of someone long gone. Charlie's heart swelled with excitement. This journal held the key to unlocking the secrets of the hidden library, he was sure of it. With trembling hands, he turned to the first page, eager to delve into the mysteries that lay within. As Charlie continued his explorations of Amsterdam's vibrant streets, he came across a street artist painting a mural on the side of a building. Intrigued by their talent, he couldn't help but be drawn to their work. The artist stood back, brush in hand, surveying their creation with a critical eye. Charlie approached cautiously, not wanting to disturb the artist's concentration. "That's incredible," he said, his voice filled with awe. "You have a true gift." The artist turned to face him, a faint smile playing on their lips. "Thank you," they replied. "Art is my way of expressing myself, of sharing my emotions with the world." Charlie nodded, captivated by the artist's words. "I've always admired artists," he said. "The way they can create something out of nothing, turning blank canvases into masterpieces." The artist's eyes sparkled with a mixture of passion and vulnerability. "Art has saved me in more ways than one," they confessed. "It has become my refuge, my escape from the chaos of life. Through my art, I can pour my heart and soul onto the canvas." Intrigued by the artist's story, Charlie sat down on a nearby bench, inviting them to join him. They spoke for hours, discussing art and creativity, sharing stories of triumphs and struggles. The artist revealed that their journey hadn't always been easy, that they had faced countless obstacles on their path to self-expression. As the rain continued to fall around them, Charlie couldn't help but be inspired by the artist's resilience. Their story resonated deep within his soul, reminding him of the power of art to heal and inspire. He realized that his encounters with strangers, like the bookseller and the artist, were not mere coincidences. They were moments of serendipity, guiding him towards a greater understanding of himself and the world around him. As Charlie walked through Amsterdam's rain-soaked streets, his mind was abuzz with thoughts and ideas. The stories he had heard, the experiences he had shared, all swirled together, forming a tapestry of inspiration. He sat down at a cafe, the scent of freshly brewed coffee mingling with the damp earthiness of the rain. With a notebook in hand and a pen poised over the blank page, Charlie began to write. Words flowed from his mind to his fingertips, each sentence infused with a newfound depth and meaning. Charlie realized that his encounters with strangers had become a wellspring of inspiration for his writing. The bookseller's tales of Amsterdam's literary history, the artist's struggles and triumphs, all wove themselves into the fabric of his stories. They breathed life into his characters, infusing them with a richness and complexity that he had never before achieved. As he wrote, Charlie couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the moments of connection he had experienced. He had set out on this journey in search of a hidden library, but what he had found was so much more. He had discovered the power of human connections, the way in which they could shape and transform our lives. Charlie's exploration of Amsterdam led him to meet a tour guide who offered unique insights into the city's history. They delved into lesser-known stories about famous landmarks, revealing the hidden layers that lay beneath the surface. As they walked together through the streets, the tour guide pointed out architectural details and shared anecdotes that brought the city's past to life. Charlie listened intently, his mind absorbing every word, eager to uncover the hidden stories that lay beneath the glossy exterior of Amsterdam. One such story revolved around a seemingly ordinary house nestled among a row of grand mansions. The tour guide explained that this house had once been home to an eccentric artist who had painted intricate murals on its walls. The artist's work had been forgotten over time, overshadowed by the grandeur of neighboring buildings. But beneath layers of paint and neglect, traces of the artist's creativity remained, waiting to be rediscovered. Charlie's imagination soared as he listened to the tour guide's tales. He could almost see the artist at work, their brushstrokes breathing life into the walls. The story ignited a spark within him, reminding him of the importance of unearthing hidden gems and giving voice to forgotten stories. As Charlie continued his journey through Amsterdam, he found himself embracing unexpected moments with open arms. He realized that life was a tapestry woven from a series of unplanned encounters, each one holding the potential to change our perspective and shape our destiny. He wandered off the beaten path, exploring hidden neighborhoods and stumbling upon quaint cafes tucked away in quiet corners. He struck up conversations with locals, learning about their lives and their dreams. Each encounter left an indelible mark on his soul, deepening his appreciation for the magic of spontaneity. Charlie began to see beauty in the unplanned, in the moments that caught him off guard. He reveled in the serendipity of life, the way it could lead us down unexpected paths and introduce us to extraordinary people. The rain-soaked streets of Amsterdam became a metaphor for this newfound perspective, reminding him that even in the midst of gloom, there was always a glimmer of light waiting to be discovered. As Charlie concluded his exploration of Amsterdam, he couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the connections he had made. The bookseller, the artist, the tour guide, each one had left an indelible mark on his journey, shaping his perspective and inspiring his writing. He returned home, armed with stories waiting to be written, eager to share the magic he had experienced. Sitting at his desk, surrounded by books and memories, Charlie began to write. Words flowed effortlessly from his mind to the page, each sentence infused with the beauty and depth of his encounters. He knew that inspiration could be found in the most unexpected places, in the rain-soaked streets of Amsterdam, in the stories shared by strangers, in the hidden gems waiting to be discovered. And as he wrote, Charlie couldn't help but smile, knowing that his journey had only just begun.